Welcome to my channel. This is Mario Lord, also known as Real Estate Guru PK. On this channel, we talk about my real estate endeavors. We also have the top real estate producers and the top entrepreneurs in the country. Be sure to click the link below with Justin P with his Support Black Colleges marketing course. Also with Jason White's Crack the Code affiliate link, click that below as well. Also to support the channel, Webull, M1 Finance, Chase, Discover, Robinhood, and Public, a stock trading app. We hope you enjoyed this episode. This is Real Estate Guru PK signing out. How y'all doing? We got a special guest. How you been?
I've been good.
We had your significant other on the podcast.
Yes.
Now we got you. So you say that you've been pouring into yourself the last 6 months?
Yes. So I would say, like, in this season of my life, I was able to really, if I could define these past 6 months, I would honestly say 3 words would be identity, accountability, and stillness. And I feel like those 3 words they resonate so much with where I'm at right now in life and just how the past 6 months have been for me, because I feel like for a long time I struggled with really showing up as the woman God created me to be, because I kind of was struggling with the people-pleasing spirit. And that's okay, right? We all kind of go through that. But just becoming aware of that was so powerful for me, because that's when transformation happens, when you can just finally face your truth and hold yourself accountable to the things you have to do in order to really become and evolve the woman or man God created you to be. So I've been working on myself, and I would say that a part of that has also been not just working out physically, but I also started taking therapy. I found a therapist, and she's been telling me about myself, and I'm just like, ew, I don't like that. But because I want to become a better version of myself, not just for me, but for the people God brings in my life, I got to face those things, and I have to deal with them. So that's what I've been doing.
How was the event? You said you opened up on the Natalie Nicole event?
Oh, yes. So Natalie Nicole is an amazing woman of God, number one. Dope serial entrepreneur and amazing friend. I met her, I would say, about over a year ago. I was modeling for her brand, and in Body. And she just, I don't know, she gravitated to me as a big sister. She would pour into me and always speak life over me. And we just kind of created that sisterhood. And she had an event about a week or 2 ago out here in Houston at her store. She asked me, hey sis, go ahead, open up for the event. And I was so grateful, because she trusted me. It's one thing when people like you, and it's another thing when people trust you with their people.
I respect you.
And so I was very grateful for that, because it's like, I do a lot of work. I pray, I'm in my word. I'm always in personal development, reading, and just surrounding myself around people and things that are gonna help me develop. And so just seeing the hard work paying off by having someone like Natalie trust me with her platform, like, hey sis, go ahead, open up. I was so grateful. And it was a beautiful event. It was so beautiful. Women empowerment is dope. And I actually have my own event coming up in New York City, September.
Oh, for real?
Yes, September 9th in New York City. I'm hosting my first women empowerment event, and I'm super excited about that. And Natalie will be speaking there too.
Who else you gonna have besides Natalie?
Natalie, myself, I have a Jalea. She's amazing woman of God as well. And I also have my brother, Jermaine Green. He's a dope man of God, very anointed. I have some guest speakers coming in. I'm kind of, talking to them behind the scenes. I won't announce them until the actual event. But that's so far what I'm doing. Yeah.
That's dope. You want to go back to how you started your entrepreneur journey?
Sure. So I would say this. So back in 2016, December, I was released from prison. So I did 5 years in prison from the age of 17 to 21. It was a very, I would say, like the most traumatic thing that's ever happened to me, right? I was 17 years old, facing 25 to life in prison. I was offered, a deal of doing 5 years. And I was like, let's do it, whatever. Honestly, at that point in my life, I really didn't care what happened to me, because I felt unworthy. I hated myself. even though the people around me forgave me and loved me, it took a long time for me to forgive myself for what happened. And that's a whole nother story, so I won't get in depth about that. But after serving the 5 years in prison, you know, I would say I was in a very controlling environment. So I was under supervision, people telling me what to do, how to do it, what to eat, when to sleep, when to get up, when to shower. Like, it was just a lot. So when I was released from prison, like, I appreciated everything, like from being able to just walk out of my house and walk down the street and go to the grocery store and just kind of just breathe air and not see barbed wires all over the place, you know? So the sense of freedom was big for me. Like, I was striving for that. And so, of course, when I came home, I had ideas and plans of what I wanted to do, but I had to work at first. So I was like, all right, let me just get a little job until I figure it out. And then 2 years of me being home, I was introduced to network marketing. And when I was introduced to network marketing, I was like, what? What? Entrepreneurship? Why am I working a job? I quit my job. I said, it's over. Like, I'm going to be an entrepreneur. This is what I'm doing. I was in college. I dropped out, and I literally just betted on myself. And, you know, I did network marketing, and then I started doing Airbnb. So I did Airbnb for 2 years, and I'm still involved. I still have my Airbnb units. I was also offering the service of setting up Airbnbs for other individuals. And that was a great way of making money too, because people think the only way to earn money doing Airbnb is actually having your own Airbnb. But you can have a cleaning company, you can co-host, you can set up Airbnbs for other people, many different ways to make money. And I also was doing credit repair alongside with Al, and it was dope. But now, you know, God has been tugging at me to focus more so on the organization he placed in my spirit, which was Raise Your Spark. Raise Your Spark is a community/organization that I gave birth to, I would say 2 years ago. And for the past year, I've been just pouring into women and men using my social media platforms and just I don't want to say I press upon my belief on them, like go to Jesus, follow Jesus, but I just let everyone know that if your firm foundation, if your solid foundation isn't him, anything else you put on top of that won't stand. You know, so you can make all the money you want, you can hustle all you want, but if your spirit's not right, that don't mean anything, because there's a reason why billionaires and millionaires commit suicide, right? So that's to say that money isn't everything. And so, well, you know, while I was just hustling and bustling in my entrepreneurship journey, God sat me down, and in this moment of stillness, I'm realizing that you need to make sure you're good with him first. And that's just for me, right? And so a lot of people gravitate to me because of what I believe in and what I stand for. But in the midst of that, people are constantly reaching out and saying, hey, I would like to speak to you one-on-one, or how do I connect with you? And my Raise Your Spark community, I offer group weekly calls where we're constantly talking about faith, personal development, mindset, and even resources on finances and how to grow your entrepreneurship characters and your traits. And yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Are you going to speak at any of the prisons?
So, funny enough, I actually was given the opportunity to speak at a juvenile center out here, Harris County Juvenile Center, tomorrow. But it was like so last minute that the paperwork didn't go through. However, I was able to build a relationship with a young woman that is actually already in the door. And so she said, hey, I love what you're doing. I'm going to get you in the system. And I was like, look at God, because for a while I've been reaching out to the prison systems out here and sending out emails, no responses. And look at how someone, you know, God just sent someone my way who said, yo, I got the access. And because I have the access, now you have the access. So I would say within the next 60 days or so, I'll be in every prison. Like, I'll have access to every prison, and I'm going to go in there and I'm going to offer, I'm working on like a 6-week to 8-week program where I'm going to help them, you know, kind of have a self-discovery moment. Because when you're in that environment, being that I was there, sometimes you just lose your identity because you're like, what is life after this? So I want to be the hope for these individuals who are facing, you know, these trials and tribulations and in these environments, and let them know that your past does not define you. You know, just because you're here right now doesn't mean that this is who you are. You're not just a felon. You know, you're going through something right now, but it's not for nothing. You know, we're going to get you, you know, I want to be able to help them understand that God created you to do more and be more. And so I'm going to create, like I said, a 6 to 8 week program where it's going to be focused on like, who am I? Who do I want to become? Affirmations, and just kind of just building that self-image and self-identity. So, yeah.
Do you feel like in the prison system, they feel like it's hopeless? Like they might as well like live there for the rest of their life because they don't really have a hope if they get out from the bars?
Yeah, so I would say this. You know, when I first went in, I was, like I said, I was 17. And the number one thing, like an old head told me, they said, YOCAIRYS, listen, do your time, don't let your time do you. And everyone that's done time heard that saying before. And it's real. And what that means is you can go in prison and let your time do you. What does that mean? You can be in there angry. You can be in there getting in trouble. You can be in there fighting. You can be in there not taking advantage of the little bit of resources they have. But if you do your time and not let your time do you, you take advantage of the little bit of things that they offer. It's not much, but it's there. So for example, for me, they used to have like volunteers come in and, you know, teach us about, I don't know, let's just say the outreach programs that are out there when you once you're released or whatever, or they'll have people come in and teach us about housing or credit or you know, sometimes they'll just come and do like performances for us just to kind of keep our minds going. And they had certain vocational programs that you could do, like business classes and computer class and horticulture and all these other small resources, but they were still better than just sitting on my bed, on my bunk, and just looking in the ceiling, you know what I mean? And they also had I gave my life to Christ when I was in prison. So I was very, very much in the church at all times. I built my spirit man while being in there. So I say all that to say that there is hope if you connect to the right things while you're there. You know, because it's a choice. Just like out here, we have a choice to hang out with the right people or the wrong people. In there, you have a choice. Who do you want to associate yourself with? The people that are sneaking and doing drugs in there, fighting, doing this and doing that, or you're going to connect with the people who are trying to make the best out of it, you know, who are in church or who are going to the gym and who are educating themselves, reading their books. So it's really a choice on what it is that you want to do, honestly.
Did a lot of people turn their back on you when you was in there? Also, everybody stayed by your side?
Yeah, so by the grace of God, and that's why I say God, like, I'm going to forever give God the glory, because human nature, when people hurt us, our human nature is like, I'm good on you. Like, I don't want nothing to do with you. I'm great. I don't, like, just get out of my life. But when God is in it and his love is in it and his grace is in there and his mercy is there and is present, it's like we do things based on how he wants us to move. Like the Holy Spirit just kind of moves in people. And so the way people just loved on me and forgave me, I knew it was nothing and no one but the grace of God. And for that, I'm forever grateful, right? Like I love my family and I love everything that they did to support me while I was there. Like I always had a package. I always had money on the books. I always had phone calls. I always had visits. And, you know, I thank them, but most importantly, I thank God because he made the way for them to do that. And so I'm grateful for that always, you know?
So when you got out, you kind of like hit the ground running after you quit your job and saw how to become an entrepreneur?
Yeah, I just literally, even when I came home, I already had a plan. So you always gotta have, like, I know sometimes things may be blurry, like, I don't know what's going to happen, but a man without a vision will perish. So you just gotta have a vision. Don't worry about how it's going to happen. Just first start off with a vision. Like, all right, this is what I want. I don't know how it's going to happen or who's going to help me make it happen. But as long as you have a vision, God would give God something to work with. And so before I was released from prison, I had a notebook of all the things that I said I wanted to do, all the things that I said I wanted to accomplish. And so when I came home, I was like, all right, what's the easiest thing to do? Find a job. That's what I did. What's the second easiest thing to do? Okay, go to college. So I signed up for college. I was like, I'm going to become a dental hygienist. That was going to be my career. And then, of course, once I was introduced to network marketing, I say, to heck with all it is. I'm going to just be my own boss. So, yeah, but I definitely hit it. But that's only because, again, I had a vision. And so, you know, after that, it was like, take off.
What brought you to Houston?
So Houston, so I would say this. When I was released from prison, I did not want to go back to my old environment, simply because I felt like so many people were stagnant, and I just always felt like there was more to me. And so when I was released from prison, I was telling my family and friends, like, yo, we should just leave New York. And they were like, where are we going? I was like, I don't know. Usually everyone says Florida. And so I'm like, I don't know. So then I started to visit Houston to see Al. And I started to really love the environment and just every time I would come to Houston, I felt at peace. And it just was so beautiful to me. Like, you know, just seeing the greenery and the clean city. New York is so fast paced and whatnot. And so I literally was like, okay, I think it's time for me to move. No one else was ready to move. And God was just tugging at me like, this is your time. So I wouldn't say I moved specifically for him because I was already kind of ready for it. But when God said to go, I just literally moved out here, got my own apartment, and I've been out here almost now 2 years, and I love it. I love Houston. It gives me like clarity. Like I was just in New York 3 days ago, and I was like, I love my family, but I'm ready to go. Because I kind of just found like a peace of mind being here, versus being back home.
What happened in New York where you was like, I gotta go?
I don't know. It's just like, what before? Like
No, I'm talking about like right now.
Right now, I just felt like I was like I have my routine out here. Like I wake up, I worship, I do my thing. I have like my routine. I have my system, you know what I mean? And being out there kind of threw me off. So I'm just like, I can't do this. Like I need to go back to what I'm used to. I need to have order in my life. And I think that's important. I feel like a lot of people don't have a system. They don't have a schedule. They don't have a routine. And so they just live their life like, okay, whatever happens, happens. And it's like, nah, like you got to have some type of order because how you start your day is how you end your day. And so being in New York, it's kind of cool because I see my family, but it's kind of like I'm winging it because I wake up like, okay, what's next? And it just kind of just throws me off. I'm not in the gym I go to the gym 4 times a week. So I'm like, I'm not in the gym. I'm not like in my word because I'm like, I'm in my word, but not as heavy. I'm not studying because I got to constantly spend time with this person or that person. So it just throws me off and I don't like it. So once I start to feel like I'm getting an attitude and I don't got no patience, I'm like, okay, it's time to go home. So I'm out and I'll just come back. Yeah.
How's your mom feel about how you evolved?
My parents are super proud of me and they're proud of me because they say that I have taken the many risks that they were afraid to take when they were younger. And so they do sometimes worry about me because I'm out here. And granted, they're like, you're just alone, there's no family there and stuff. I'm like, yeah, but God is good. I got Jesus on my side, I'm good. But they're proud of me for sure. My mom always tells me that I'm like her greatest treasure and she's proud of me. And sometimes I feel like I'm not as proud of myself as they are because I'm like, there's so much more to me. And I feel like for a while I was cutting myself short. But that's just me being hard on myself. And sometimes we could be hard on ourselves. Like we feel like, I could be doing way more. But sometimes we just have to sit down and reflect back at where we were. And it's like, you know what, YOCAIRYS, it's cool. Like, it's cool. You have so much that you want to look forward to, but always remember where you came from because just by looking back, you can see like, okay, even like sometimes as we humans, right, we're kind of going to always face struggles and challenges in today. And sometimes it may feel like, oh my God, I'm about to give up. But when we look back in the past and look back at what we've been through and what God brought us through, it kind of helps us be more appreciative of obviously what he's doing in our life and also of us, like, I'm like, YOCAIRYS, like you're beating yourself up, but you've done a lot more than society has deemed you to do. Because according to society, I should have failed. The recidivism of people going back to prison after serving time is crazy. Like, it's a crazy percentage. I can't remember the exact numbers, but it's a high rate. A lot of the women that I was incarcerated with,
They're back.
They're either back in prison or committed suicide.
Damn.
Yeah, because they're like, when they get released, it's like, what's next? They go back into heavy drugs and they just give up. Or they go back because it's like too hard. It's not easy out here. And so being out here now for 6 years and, I'm very proud of myself now when I look back. So, yeah.
Yeah, I love this. So what's next for the next 5 years? What you got planned?
So the next 5 years, that's so funny because I was literally like just writing these things down. So the next 5 years for me, I kept asking God for help and guidance. I'm like, Lord, what do you have for me to do in the next 5 years? Because I may have plans, but what are your plans for my life? And so, he gave me the vision of my Raise Your Spark community. I have a business strategy that he gave me. I'm not going to really talk about it much, but it's definitely going to be a platform for people to come in and be inspired, encouraged, and, more so like a life coaching platform. But there's more to it, right? But I also, I will have my nonprofit where I'll be able to help fund and give out resources to young entrepreneurs, men and women. Because yes, I'm all for women, but I also am all for men because I feel like men don't have as much support and resources as us women do.
Facts.
And so I really care for the man because without y'all, we came from y'all. So we need to make sure that y'all are good too. So I want to my nonprofit is going to basically, as I mentioned, give resources out for men and women who are entrepreneurs, not just financial support, but, emotional. So I would like to have therapists on site, counselors on site, even doctors, lawyers on site to help give out these resources to people who may have financial struggles or challenges. So my nonprofit would be that. And also, of course, giving back into the system, prison systems and whatnot. As for me, YOCAIRYS, while my businesses are running and doing their thing, I want to serve as many people as I can. Like, I love to speak. As you can see, I've been talking. You're like, oh, I can talk.
You're good.
And I just want to, success to me is being able to serve others and put people in position to win. And not just win financially, but spiritually, emotionally, mentally. And so I'm asking God to open up doors, if it's in his will for me, to just speak all over the world and just to pour out and to share my testimony, because it's through my testimony that a lot of people have gotten closer to God through my platform. Me saying that I served 5 years in prison, they're like, girl, what? And you're this positive and you're this and that. And I'm just like, listen, God. So I just want to be a disciple for God and just spread his word and just, be used by him. So whatever that looks like for him. Yeah.
So, do you plan on getting married or no?
I do want to get married.
Okay.
I do want to get married. I do want children. I want 2 kids.
2 kids?
That's it.
A boy and a girl, or does it matter?
I definitely want a boy. So it doesn't really, as long as I get my boy, I don't really care.
Boy.
Yeah, but I definitely do want children. I want to be married. I need my man. There's a lot of women out here talking about, I don't need no man. That's you, sis. I want my man. I need my man. I need my rib. I'm his rib. So I need my partner because if it was meant for us to be on this earth alone, honestly, we wouldn't even be here because we came from the man, right? So I need my man. So yes, I do want to be married.
I'm gonna ask you the same question I asked him. What if when you have your boy, what advice would you give him about women?
Oh, if I have a boy, what advice would I give my boy about women? I would, Okay, I would say this. A lot of men, I've been seeing and hearing guys talk about, cooking and cleaning is not everything. Like, y'all think that's what you bring to the table. That's it. And I just feel like this, like, honestly, don't define what a woman brings to the table based on what other people define. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like what's important as far as a woman is to make sure the woman, like, usually they say the man is a provider, whatever. However you and your girl sees fit on how y'all deal with y'all finances, y'all business. But most importantly, just make sure that whatever women you're with is always building you up as a man, in the sense of make sure that woman is a praying woman. That's number 1. Number 2, make sure that woman is always pouring life into you, and make sure that woman is constantly holding you accountable and helping you exercise your gifts. So be basically serving you. It doesn't have to necessarily be cooking and cleaning, but that's a way of serving too. And so I would let him know, like, don't look down on that, because there's time that as a woman, I'm tired, I'm sick, I don't feel good, I'm not, and I still make sure that I'm serving my man, whether that's cooking for him, making sure the house is clean. And men, they try to say that they don't care about that, but I bet you if you walk into the house and it's dirty, you're gonna be uncomfortable. If you walk into the house and there's no food, you're not gonna be happy about that. So appreciate those things, but most importantly, make sure that you're with a woman that's constantly helping you exercise your gift. And that's, what your purpose is, whether that's, I don't know, whatever your purpose is. Everyone has a different purpose and calling, but make sure that she's doing just that, pouring life into you. Okay. That's key. That's top tier.
Okay.
Top tier.
So, yeah. I don't want to ask you about him. So like the event y'all got going on in New York, you don't want to throw that in Houston? Why you feel like you want to do it in New York?
That's a good question, because Natalie always tells me, like, sis, you keep going back to New York, but God got you. He wants you to have territory over everything. And that's true. And so, I'm comfortable with New York because I know I have an audience there and I have a network there. But I am expanding here. So I'm building my network here. I'm putting myself out here. I'm connecting with other people. So I do see myself hosting at minimum a vision board party out here in Houston sometime in November. So I'm going to start definitely
Is that only for women or that for men too?
Just for women right now. Right, just for now, because I mean, I would love men to come too. Maybe, you know what? Maybe I'll do it for men and women.
Okay.
Because I think that'll be dope,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
So maybe I'll do a men and women and kind of see how that goes. Because I do want to impact men, but there's so many more women that gravitate to me, so it's kind of hard to just cater to one man. If it was like 50-50, then I could like balance it out. But if it's like 60 women and one dude, is like, I'm sorry, bro, I gotta kick you out for a second. But I have other men that I can guide you to, like Al, like Jermaine, like, hey, follow this guy or follow this guy if you're looking for a community or someone or a mentor or someone that can just kind of encourage you and inspire you to go in the direction you're going. So
you're not helping people fix credit at all no more? Like you're done?
So I'm personally done. Like I said, like even the Airbnb stuff, like as far as setting up for Airbnb, like I was making a lot of good money. I was making really good money.
So you done with that too?
Yes. So I'm not. So I was just saying to someone, I'm done because it's time consuming. Like setting up Airbnbs for people, like I would go furnish it for you. So I'm shopping for you. I'm setting it up. I'm taking the pictures. I'm automating it for you. It was time consuming. And right now I need to focus on my God-given gift. And so because of that, I need to like let go of extra things that are distracting me. And yeah, again, it was really good money. I'm like, so, you know, sometimes though, when you're chasing after what God is giving you, you sometimes have to sacrifice certain things. And I'm also being obedient because God already said like, this is not what I have for you. So I just but Al still does credit. You know, he still does his stuff. So if y'all need anything, go to Al.
Oh, man.
He got y'all. So it's like, cool. You know, he could do that and I just focus on what I got going on.
How was it like growing up in New York? I hear your accent a little bit. Like when you get real passionate, I hear it.
You do?
Yeah.
It's funny. My friends in New York are like, you sound country now. And I'm like, what? No way. I can't lose my accent.
I hear it.
You hear it? Good, good. So how was it growing up there?
Yeah.
I love New York. You know what's crazy? I was just there, like I said, like a couple days ago, and I actually appreciate it more. I appreciate more that that's where I was born and raised because New York is dope. Like the culture is dope. The way people dress is dope. Like me, for example, right? My friends make fun of me because I like to wear dirty sneakers, and they're like, "Girl, do not wear them dirty sneakers around me." I'm like, "Yeah, but if you go to New York, Central Park area, Manhattan, you see folks with ripped dirty jeans, dirty sneakers. That don't mean they broke. They just don't care. Like, New York gave me that I don't care attitude. Like, if I live my life constantly trying to adjust to people's opinions and thoughts of me, then I'm going to live a miserable life. So being, like, born and raised in New York, Brooklyn, to be exact, it definitely helped build like, a little bit of who I am today, my character, and that just kind of, like, free vibe that I have, like that freedom that I have, you know? And I feel like people from other cities are so subconscious about, okay, I can't leave the house if my makeup is not done, if I don't look like this or like that. And I get it, image is everything. You gotta look up to par. But again, I'm just so free. And being in New York, it reminded me, I saw people like dressed up all weird kind of ways, just walking around with a smile on their face, looking all types of crazy. But they're just happy and they're just free. And so, yeah, I love New York. I love New York. I just can't see myself going back there.
How you feel about the gentrification going on over there? How you feel about that?
I like it. I like it. I like that now, you know, I grew up in the hood and it was just minorities, Black and brown communities, right? Latinos and whatever. And now you go and you're like, you know, you're in the hood, Brownsville, you see this Caucasian man walking, you just like, he just walking across the street like it's nothing. And it's new. It's different because it's not it's not something we're used to. It's not common, but I feel like it kind of forces people to just become one. If that's what you're asking me, I hope I'm answering it right. Yeah,
no, you are.
Yeah. And I think I love what's happening because again, it's just kind of because a lot of the people that are migrating to Brooklyn and stuff is because they're trying to pay less rent or whatever. And so it's like, okay, now y'all coming on our side because y'all see that, you know, and now y'all get to really vibe out amongst us. And it's like, oh, okay. So I think it, to a degree, is bringing unity. And yeah, I think it's dope, honestly. I think it's dope.
Okay, that's cool. So besides the event, what else you got going on? And then, what else you got going on?
So I have a book. So I wrote my very first book.
That's what you brought with you?
Yeah, it's over there, but I can't grab it right now.
Okay, that's cool.
But it's called The Light Within, and it's a Who Am I workbook. So as I mentioned to you before, I think it's this is what I feel, right? This is my opinion. Mm-hmm. I feel that the reason why a lot of people are confused about their purpose, their calling, and they kind of constantly go through changes. Like one minute they're doing this, the next minute they're doing that, is because I feel like a lot of people struggle with identity. Mm-hmm. And that's okay. It's okay, right? Like, you could figure out who you truly are at the age of 60, and that's okay too, right? Everyone has a process and a journey. But I created the book because I feel like a lot of people are trying to figure out what's my purpose? Mm-hmm. But before we get to that part, we have to figure out who you are. But the only way to figure out who you are is to first figure out whose you are. Mm-hmm. So in other words, right, if you have a BMW, you're not going to go to Benz to figure out what's wrong with your BMW, right? Mm-hmm. Because the BMW manual and the Beamer manual is two different things, right? Mm-hmm. So I say to people all the time, if you want to get to know who you are and figure out your purpose and everything about you, you got to start with your creator. And that's him, right? Mm-hmm. And so the book is broken into 3 parts. So the first workbook is Who Am I? And so in that book is pretty much teaching you how to ask yourself all the questions that you would normally typically ask a person that you want to get to know. Like, what's your favorite color? What are your struggles? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And so we get to really get familiar with other people, but we never really get to sit down and ask ourselves those questions. Like, we really don't even know, like one day I remember I sat down and I said, YOCAIRYS, what are some things you really like to do for fun? Mm. And I caught myself like really being stuck because I was going to quickly say travel and this and that. And it's like, yeah, that's cool. But truly, what do you enjoy? And so the fact that I had to take a second to even answer those questions, I was like, we got to get this together. Because the same way you're quick to jump and say what your best friend's favorite color is, you should be able to do the same thing for yourself. So the first book, Who Am I, is basically based on, I want people to be able to ask themselves the tough questions and really get to know themselves and like kind of like date yourself. So it's for men and women. The second book is going to be Who Do I Want to Become? So based on who you are, who am I, who do you want to become based on what you know about yourself? So what is your vision for yourself? What does that look like for you? What are your goals, right? And then once we get to that part, the third book is going to be Who Does God Say I Am? Because now based on what you think, who you think you are, who you say you are, and based on who you want to become, now we're going to narrow it. We're going to like basically seal it with who God says you are. Because now that's going to fuel you into believing that you can become exactly who it is that you would like to become, but most importantly, who God created you to be. Okay. So it's all about self-discovery and just identity and just really learning you. Because once you have that power of knowing whose you are and who you are, you can literally take off. And so that's that. So my website is raiseyourSpark.com. Okay. My Instagram is YOCAIRYS _. Because, I thought I was the only one with my name, but there's a bunch of Dominicans that have my name now. Oh, for real? And I don't like it. I said, Ma, I thought I was unique. And she's like, you are. And I'm like, clearly not, because someone has my name. But anyway, it's YOCAIRYS _. My community is Raise Your Spark. And you'll basically be able to book one-on-one calls with me on there, purchase my book, book me for speaking engagements, and all that good stuff.
How much you charge for your speaking engagements?
So it depends. I can't throw that out there. So okay. My question is, the first question is, what's your budget? Okay. Right? Because I might say minimum $1,500, okay. And your budget might be $10,000, and you're not gonna, you're okay, $1,500, because now, So I kind of leave it up. And also, there's some people who, may not even have that kind of budget. Mm-hmm. And I may just want to serve you in that way and just see what the point of your event is. So I work with everyone depending on the event and things like that. So
yeah, I want to have a 3-day event like with everybody I had on the podcast to speak. So hopefully you give me a discount.
See, I got you. So what's the cause of it? What's the meaning behind it? How many people are going to be in attendance? So these are questions that I ask because I want to know. And I always ask, what's your budget, right? And then I just work with you.
Hopefully y'all be back together. Y'all can speak together.
You're crazy. Hey, that's my homie. I mean, we definitely have.
Y'all finna get back together.
Yeah, we got a great relationship.
Chemistry. Y'all got good chemistry.
Yeah, we do.
I thought y'all was brothers and sisters. Like y'all were so.
I remember you were like, "Are you his assistant?" I'm like, "No," but that goes back to what I would tell my kid to make sure that woman you're with is serving you. To the point where when you walk in, like, you thought I was an assistant. And I was cool with that. Like, I'm not taking no offense, Cool. I'm serving my partner. That's what it should be like. A woman, we're here to serve the man.
I mean, you're submissive.
I am. But sometimes I can be stubborn. Yeah. And sometimes I might try to be controlling. So it kind of mixes up, but I am submissive. I am. I think, no, I am. I never heard
you are.
Yeah.
You are. Well, it seemed like it when y'all was here.
Yeah, I'm pretty submissive. Yeah, I would say that. Again, only when I feel like I'm kind of going against myself, I'd be like, all right, that don't make no sense. Hold on. I don't mind being submissive, but hold on. That sounds like you want me to do that for selfish reasons, not because it's for us.
Okay.
You know, so yeah, pretty much.
Well, I'm gonna ask you either or question.
Okay.
And then we'll be done.
Okay.
Flips or rentals?
I would say rentals.
Rentals?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Wholesaling or rental property?
Wholesaling.
Wholesaling?
What do you say? Because I know you do wholesaling, right?
No, I buy and hold.
You buy and hold.
Yeah, I do rentals.
Rentals.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just better because Houston's going crazy right now. I'm selling my personal property. I'm about to make a killing right now. So
right.
Yeah, so y'all got a house. Y'all got a house together. You know, it's gonna go up in 5 years.
Mm-hmm. I'm actually getting my realtor's license now too.
Oh, you are?
Yes. I've been working on it for a year only because I have a felony. It's a different process.
Oh.
So I almost got discouraged and I was like, nah, I gotta stand up for the folk, the underdog. Everyone who has a felony who thinks they can't do it, you can do it. Where's the camera at? Oh, here. You can do it, y'all. Don't let anyone tell you cannot get your realtor's license with a felony. You just have to go through a different process. And I want to be an example of that. I want to be able to let people know that with a felony, you can accomplish everything. Like nothing is impossible. And so that's really why I'm doing it. So I might not even ever use it because again, the direction God has taken me, I don't know. He might tell me that, girl, you got that license for nothing because I got something so different for you to do. But I still have to stick through this because I want to help everyone else who thinks they can't do it, do it.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
Stocks or NFTs?
NFTs?
NFTs? Oh, for real?
Yeah, we're living in a world where everything is digital, right?
Okay.
Digital. I don't know. What do you say?
Stocks.
Okay, yes. Yeah. Yeah, okay.
NFTs or crypto?
Crypto.
Crypto?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You got any crypto?
I do not.
Oh, you do not?
I'm not really into, not that I'm not really into it. I've tried to educate myself, but I'm at the space where I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to pay someone to take care of this. So I'm going to get to a space where I finally just kind of give my money to someone, a broker or someone who already does this and just kind of like leave it to them to do. Because I've tried to learn how to trade. I've tried to learn how to, but I never really found a true interest in it. Not that I don't want to make any money and not that I don't want to invest, but I just never found that true desire of doing it. And so I'm just like, let me just navigate it and send it out somewhere else. And
okay.
Yeah.
Money or equity?
Equity.
Equity? Okay. 2 million followers or rental property?
Rental property.
Rental property?
Because not all followers means money.
But you've been making money off of Instagram, though.
Yeah, I do.
Okay. But it don't matter.
I make money off social media in general. It's cool, but again, not every follower means money. Like,
that's true.
Not every follower is a supporter. Not every follower is gonna, you know what I'm saying? So if you have a rental property, that's different, right? Because it's more residual income in that sense, right?
Okay.
What would you say?
I'll probably say 2 million followers because I already got 12 rental properties. So.
Well, okay, 2 million followers or more rental properties.
Are you doing one rental property?
Oh, you just said one?
I just said one.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant I thought you said rental properties in general. That's why I say rental properties. That's why I said that.
No, one rental property.
Oh. Still, I would still rather have my rental property.
Rental property?
Followers don't always mean much.
That's true.
Honestly.
But when you got a big event like as yourself, you could.
Yeah, you have more network, more outreach. That is true. But again, the conversion rate of that is not always.
That's true.
You know, So it's kind of like, if you could secure if we're talking money, if you could just secure your own life and bag outside of social media and let social media just be the add-on, cool.
I feel that.
Yeah, that's what I think.
850 credit score, $1 million.
850 credit score, because now I got access to more than millions. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Business account or regular account?
Business account.
LLC or S corp?
LLC.
LLC. Over the S corp? No, it's cool. You can say LLC.
Okay, yeah.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.